morning and welcome back to the second part of the lesson called My Childhood, which is an extract from Wings of Fire, an autobiography by APJ Abdul Kalam. Now, what happens next? One day, when I was in the fifth standard at the Rameshwaram Elementary School, a new teacher came to our class. So, who is I here? APJ Abdul Kalam, okay? I used to wear a cap which marked me as a Muslim, and I always sat in the front row line next to Ramananda Shastri, who wore the sacred thread. Okay, sacred thread refers to the penal and tungalarwa, or here you can see that these children are wearing a sacred thread there. So this is APJ Abdul Kalam. I hope everyone can identify him easily because he's wearing a cap and he looks different, right, from this group. So the new teacher, when he came here, he couldn't stomach whatever he saw there, and then he would ask him to do one thing. So this is just a picture which shows that APJ Abdul Kalam used to sit in the front row with his friends who were Brahmin and Hindu, but then they don't feel that differences when they were children. The new teacher could not stomach a Hindu priest's son sitting with a Muslim boy. So could not stomach means could not tolerate. Tolerate means you could not be patient with something. Therefore, what did he say? In accordance with our social ranking, as the new teacher saw it, I was asked to go and sit on the back bench. Now, as I already told you that Hindu work, and especially Brahmin Hindu, he is a priest's son, they were considered highest in their social ranking, and because APJ Abdul Kalam was a Muslim boy, his social ranking was considered lower, and therefore the teacher asked him to go and sit on the last backbench. I felt very sad, and so did Ramananda Sastri. So who is Ramananda Sastri? His friend who was the Hindu priest's son. He looked utterly downcast as I shifted my seat in the last row. Downcast means sad and depressed. Utterly means completely. So he looked completely sad when he shifted his seat to the last line. The image of him weeping when I shifted to the last row left a lasting impression on me. So when he was shifting his seat, he saw Ramananda weeping, and that has made a lasting impression. Even now, he feels and he can sense the event even then. Okay. After school, we went home and told our respective parents about the incident. So they went back, both of them told their parents, respective parents. Respective here refers to APJ Abdul Kalam telling his parents and Ramananda Shastri telling his parents. Okay. Lakshmana Shastri, who was Ramananda's father, summoned the teacher. Summoned means called urgently, and in our presence told the teacher that he should not spread poison of social inequality and communal intolerance in the minds of innocent children. So he, the high priest, local high priest, scolded the new teacher and told him that he should not spread poison of social inequality. Okay, social inequality means when there is when you don't have equal rights compared to the other group of people, right? So here Hindu and Muslim were separated, and he was spreading social inequality there. And communal intolerance means religious intolerance. One it was Hindu and the other one was Muslim. Okay, and he doesn't want it to be in their children's, innocent children, tender young children's mind. He did not say directly, but bluntly asked the teacher either apologize, means to say sorry, or quit the school and the island. So he had only a choice, either to say sorry or leave the town. Not only did the teacher regret his behavior, he felt sorry about his behavior, but the strong sense of conviction Lakshmana Shastri conveyed ultimately reformed this young teacher. Conviction means strong belief. So, because Ramananda Shastri, the high priest, had strong belief that people should not spread poisons of social inequality, he was reformed as a young teacher. Okay, he then changed his way of thinking. On the whole, the small society of Rameshwaram was very rigid in terms of segregation of different social groups. So, on and on, the small society was very tough, rigid, tough in terms of segregation, means separation of different social groups. So Hindu will are different, Muslims are different, Buddhists like us are different. So there is this strong segregation, separation between them. However, my science teacher Siva Subramania Iyer, though an orthodox Brahmin with a very conservative wife, was something of a rebel. Now, he had a science teacher called Subramaniam Iyer who was unorthodox, okay, a strong, let's say, strict religious follower, and had a very traditional conservative wife. But then he was some kind of a rebel. A rebel is a person who doesn't follow the common thing, right? So he did his best to break social barriers so that people from varying backgrounds could mingle easily. So he's trying to break the social boundaries which were there, like Hindu and Muslim cannot eat together. So all these things were there, and he wanted to break them, and so that people could easily mingle means mix together. He used to spend hours with me and would say, Kalam, I want you to develop so that you are on par with the highly educated people in of the big cities. So he says to APJ Abdul Kalam that he wants him to be so educated and developed that he is on par. He is at the same level with highly educated people who are in the big cities. He doesn't discriminate that Kalam was a Muslim boy. One day he invited me to his home for a meal. His wife was horrified at the idea of a Muslim boy being invited to dine in her ritually pure kitchen. So one day his science teacher invited him for a meal, like a dinner, and then his wife, who was conservative, was horrified, was scared with the idea that Muslim boy will eat in their pure, ritually pure kitchen. Okay, she refused to serve me. She refused to put food to feed Kalam. Subramaniam Iyer was not perturbed. He was not disturbed, nor did he get angry with his wife. Okay, he was not disturbed. He doesn't, nor did he get angry, but instead served me with his own hands and sat down beside me to eat his meal. So his wife refused to serve, but then he sat down there and served by his own hand. His wife watched us from behind the kitchen door. I wondered whether she had observed any difference in the way I ate rice, drank water, or cleaned the floor after the meal. When I was leaving the house, Siva Subramania Iyer invited me to join him for dinner again the next weekend. So that time his wife was completely ignoring the child because he was Muslim. Observing my hesitation, he told me not to get upset, saying, once you decide to change the system, such problems have to be confronted. So when he was invited again, APJ Abdul Kalam was quite in hesitation. He was not, determined to say whether yes or no. They said there was. Therefore, he says that once you decide to change the system, now the system feels that Muslim and Hindu are different and they should be treated differently. So he says that if you want to change that, you have to confront, you have to face such problems, and such problems will always arise. When I visited his house the next week, Siva Subramania Iyer's wife took me inside her kitchen and served me food with her own hand. Well, you see that in the next time he was welcomed by science teacher's wife. Then the Second World War was over and India's freedom was imminent. Imminent means about to happen, okay, soon to happen. So India was about to get its freedom. Indians will build their own India, declared Gandhi ji. The whole country was filled with an unprecedented optimism, positivity were there that now they are going to get free from the British occupation. I asked my father for permission to leave Rameshwaram and study at the district headquarters in Ramananthapuram. Now he requested his father to allow him to study uh, outside the town, right? So Subramaniam Ayer's wife took me inside in her kitchen. So there, Subramaniam Ayer's wife is serving a Muslim boy in her ritually pure kitchen. Now, when he requested his father to give him permission for further studies out of the town, he told me as if thinking aloud, Abdul, I know you have to go away to grow. Does the seagull not fly across the sun alone and without the nest? So father wants, okay, APJ Abdul Kalam's father wants him to study, and he says that he wants him to go away and grow because do you not see seagull? So these are large seabird which flies across the sun alone and without a nest. So they, in order to grow, have to go alone and strive. He quoted Khalil Gibran's To My Hesitant Mother. So mother was quite unsure whether to send her child there out of town or not. So his father quote a verse from Khalil Gibran poem, Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, they come from out from you, but not from you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. So, a very famous poet, Khalil Gibran, says that your children, although they came out through you, but then they also have their own mind and thoughts and desires. So, we should not try to control them for their thoughts, okay. You can give them your love, but then whatever they want from their life, it is their wish, and you should give them such freedom so that they can grow. All right, and as we already talked, this is an extract, a taken piece from the autobiography called Wings of Fire by APJ Abdul Kalam. So this is the seagull, a large seabird which moves all around the coastal areas. So thank you all. I hope everyone have understood and learned something new. In case you have any question or doubt, feel free to ask or leave comment in the comment section below. Thank you all.